Suspended Communication Workers Union General Secretary Aubrey Tshabalala will challenge legal action against his employer. We speak to him now to find out why. This is following his suspension in October of 2021 for failing to perform his assigned duties and for going on an unauthorized international trip. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us this afternoon. So you continue to maintain your innocence?
Good afternoon to you and the viewers of Newzroom. Absolutely, I maintain my innocence. It's not just only innocence that I'm maintaining. You'll recall that I'm holding a public office, and therefore, if there's any allegation, it has to be proven. One has to account. So there's allegations that have been made against me. I've been waiting patiently to say, let's go to a hearing, prove your allegations. Let also the members of CWU know what their General Secretary did wrong or did not do wrong. So it's also about issue of accountability. So I don't want to stand here and say I'm innocent and I'm not given an opportunity, be it in the hearing, and I also call that it should be public so that people can view for themselves.
What has the employer said with regards to that hearing and why it has not been held to date?
Well, firstly, let's correct that they are not the employers. I think it's one thing that you have to correct. They are not the employers. They are leaders that are elected with me to run the organization, and we should all be accountable to workers. Now, firstly, my charges, including the suspension, was unconstitutional, was done outside the structures of the organization by individuals that have that thinking that they own the organization. But nevertheless, their excuses, the first time they've called a hearing, they did not appear. You can imagine an employer calling a hearing, you appear, they are not there. The second time, they said the chairperson missed the times of the hearing, so it's not available. The third time, they came and said they are not prepared. Yet they said they've concluded the investigation. And to me, I want to re-emphasize, none of the charges that they put there are realistic and they are true. They know very well. Hence, I've taken the matter to court, and to my surprise, they did not even oppose it. So what we are doing, they're just dragging the whole thing. Probably I should be removed in my absence in the conference, or probably they should just take over the organization and keep the organization mute.
With regards to the allegations against you, did you go on the unauthorized international trip, and did they make it known what these duties that you failed to perform were?
Well, let me start with the trips. They're referring to trips of 2019 specific, and those were duly authorized trips. I know it's a matter into hearing, but I have to highlight that the trips that they even complain about were sanctioned. Some were sanctioned by COSAT, was the Central Executive Committee, where the president of CWU sits. I don't know when did he think about it in 2021 to say, well, I think it was not authorized. But just to sum it up, in issues that they say that I did not do my work, I actually don't even think they understand the section that they are referring to, section 99, 98, and 100 of the Labor Relations Act, because if I did not do that, CWU will be deregistered. That basically is accounting to the Department of Labor about the finances, about the membership, about the addresses and so forth. So you do have to submit that annually. They don't even specify when did I not do that work. Probably they are assuming that I want to do it in the next financial year.
Do you suggest then that these are trumped up charges? And if so, what would be the motive or the motivation for them to remove you or to want you gone?
Well, it's indeed clash with straws. I'm not so sure what will be the motive, but what frustrates me is the fact that this thing happened at a time where there is talk about the spectrum, where we have to be vocal about it. It happens at a time when we talk about the transition where institutions like the SOEs like USASA, Centec, BBI are going to merge, which can have impact on workers. It comes at a time when the AG report has been released at SABC. CWU have said nothing, and when there is a serious impact, workers could also not get salaries. Where SABC is also recruiting 500 people, whereas we have about 600 that are just in retrenched a year ago. All these things happen at a time when post office is in a crisis, and trade unions said nothing. All these things happen with a smooth ride. So we're just wondering what could influence all of these things, but we need to soldier on. We need to defend our trade union movement. We need not to be shy about it, so that when leaders are removed, it should be in the constitutional platform that should be happening.
With these issues that you are highlighting, do you have a difference of opinion from the other leaders as to how they should be treated? Well,
when I was sitting in a meeting on the day I was suspended, the 1st of October, I've raised these issues sharply, and there was discomfort, some amongst them. And little did I know that an hour later after the meeting, I will be suspended, which was just on the eve of the National Executive Committee, where we're actually preparing a discussion paper to deal about these things. I mean, amongst other things, the issue of work from home. We have not dealt with the issues of the policy around it, how to protect workers going forward. I mean, companies such as MTN and others are introducing a mandatory vaccine, and there's no significant input from the workers. How do we deal with that if we have to move that direction? Yes, indeed, I have serious opposing view with some of the leaders, and clearly I'm not necessarily saying because of the suspension, but it's too much of a coincidence.
Thank you very much for bringing these issues to our attention. Aubrey Tshabalala is Suspended Communication Workers Union General Secretary. Thank you.